coming in. Good evening, everyone. It is February 6, 2024, and we're having a meeting this evening of the Gallatin City Council. We'll call to order officially, and we'll begin with our invocation, our Pledge of Allegiance. This evening, I've asked Mr. Charles Brinkley, a frequent visitor to our meetings, to offer our invocation, and then Councilman Fan will lead us in the pledge. If you would stand with me, please.
Let us pray. Our Father, we thank you for this time that you allowed us to have. We thank you for who you are. We ask special blessings upon this council, our Father. Continue to fortify their minds, that they and grant them wisdom and understanding, that we may continue to live in a great city. Bless us, our Father. All those under the sound of my voice, forgive us for our sins. Continue to lead, guide, and direct us in the path of righteousness just for you. Bless us this night, I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Brinkley. Thank you, Councilman Fan. Ms. Kittrell, if you would call the roll for us, please.
Vice Mayor Love is absent. Councilman Carter,
Present.
Councilman Fan,
Here.
Councilman Fennell,
Here.
Councilwoman George. Here. Councilman Hayes.
Present.
And Councilman Juvance. Mayor, we do have a quorum.
Thank you so much. This evening, you have before you the minutes from the January 2nd, 2024 City Council meeting. Entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Motion by Councilwoman George,
Second.
second by Councilman Hayes. Are there any additions or corrections requested?
And is not here.
Seeing none, all in favor of approving the January 2nd, 2024 City Council meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Minutes are unanimously approved. At this time, we will have public recognition on agenda-related items. There are several public hearings this evening. If that's one of the items that you're interested in, you may wait to wish and speak under the public hearing on the specific item. Otherwise, you may speak under public recognition on agenda-related items. And then to make matters even more confusing, there's a period at the end of the meeting where you can speak to anything that's not on the evening's agenda. But at this time, public recognition on agenda-related items is now open. You can come forward. You'll have 5 minutes to speak. We ask that you give us your name and address for the record, please. Okay. Seeing no one indicating that they wish to speak, I will declare public recognition on agenda-related items closed. And we will move on now to mayor's comments. And I have just a few things to share with each of you. First of all, I want to let you all know that yesterday we said a sad goodbye to Mr. Jim Huffman. He was a local woodworker, a veteran, very involved in our community with drug awareness, and also well known as one of Santa's helpers in our community. And so he passed away last week, and his memorial service was yesterday. Also want to welcome Mr. Joe DeBoard, who we've not seen in quite some time. That was a face we were all glad to see this evening, so welcome back, Mr. DeBoard. Wanted to let this council know that Mr. Tuttle is not here this evening, but he asked that I pass on the news to you that he had brought to y'all last week about the Smith Street bid opening, and his fear, not last week, but a couple of weeks ago, his fear that the costs were going to exceed our estimate, but he's not going to need any more money. The bids were good and will be awarded, and so he was very, very pleased with that. And then I wanted to let you know that we are going to advertise and schedule budget meetings for March 13th, 14th, 15th, 18th, and 22nd. And so those will begin 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on those days, but we will be advertising those publicly, and we'll get those to you as well. Some events coming up that you may be interested in. There's a Sumner County Candidate Forum. I believe it's being done by the Chamber and Main Street Media or the Gallatin News. That's on the 13th of February. It's at Ball State Community College from 6 to 8 p.m. Also, the Chamber is hosting a legislative series kickoff breakfast with Governor Bill Lee. That's at Northfield Church from 8 to 10 a.m. on the 15th. On the 19th, it's President's Day. Most offices will be closed. Of course, banks, post office, that kind of thing too. And then the Gallatin Shalom Zone Sneaker Ball is coming up at the end of the month. And so I think those are just the events for you to be aware of. I do have a street closure or a couple of street closure requests that I will bring to you at the end of the meeting. But with that, we'll move into the regular agenda. And the first item on the agenda is first reading on ordinance 02311-56. And for that, Councilman Fennell is recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, zoning of 5.18 plus or minus acre parcel, tax map 112, partial 4301 to the R6 PRD High Density Residential Plan Residential Development District with a preliminary master plan for the EMI Homes, Bledsoe Springs, located north of Hartsville Pike and east of Airport Road, authorizing revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for effective date. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilwoman George. Opening the floor for any discussion. Mr. Chavez.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like first to read a part of zoning ordinance 0407, which says scope of regulation, new uses, lots, building, or other structure. And he said that any new building or other structure or any tract of land shall be used, constructed, or developed only in accordance with the use, bulk, and all other applicable provision of this ordinance. Accordance. So again, we come back to the same thing. Staff report talking about open space and the 35% who are necessary for the R6 PRD zoning. Page 2 of the staff report. The plan indicates that they mean the 35% recreation area open space requirement for R6 PRD. However, the open space is not in common area tract, which is required as a condition of approval. Required as a condition of approval. Open space also includes the private streets parking area. However, due to the unique shape of the property, very little functional open space is available for the 51 residential unit. This is further compromised by the proposed alternate buffer yard and severely restricted possibility of providing for a commercial greenway easement to the adjacent Bledsoe Springs single-family development. In addition, the common access easement that provide access to the adjacent convenience store park include nearly 1/3 of an acre. So just right there, that should stop everything. Again, required, it's not there and it's required as a condition of approval. Another stuff I already talked about is the exit on the convenience store parking lot. So stuff I haven't heard is that I haven't heard for the convenience store parking lot people to see if they agree to that. That stuff I would like to know too, because if they don't agree with having an exit using there, looks like it's a common easement. Where are we going? So again, planning staff does not support the development as proposed. It's black and white. The traffic study doesn't meet the requirements of the code. It's black and white. That got turned down and turned down and turned down, and it's coming back again and again and again. And finally, looks like it's going to pass, even if that should not. Again, I come back to the start. That doesn't meet the requirement for the R6 PRD, so we should stop there. We need to trust the expert only when the experts say what we want, but on that case, suddenly we don't trust the expert, so kind of have an issue with it. Again, that should not even pass until they meet the basic requirement of the code, or they ask for an exemption, which is not the case. So I will be voting no on it.
Anyone else with any comments? Okay, this is first reading on ordinance 02311-56. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.
No?
Passes 5-1. Item number 2 is public hearing on ordinance 02311-56. For that, Councilman Fennell, you're recognized.
This is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, zoning a 5.18 plus or minus acre parcel, tax map 112, parcel 4301 to the R6 PRD High Density Residential Plan Residential Development District with a preliminary master development plan for MI Homes, Bledsoe Springs, located north of Hartselle Pike and east of Airport Road. Authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Motion to approve.
No, it's public hearing.
Sorry, public hearing.
You already did the other one. So this is a public hearing. Public hearing is now open. If you'd like to speak to this, you're welcome to come forward at this time. Seeing no one wishing to speak, I will declare public hearing on ordinance 02311-56 closed. Moving on to item 3, which is first reading on ordinance 02401-1. And Vice Mayor Love's absence, I'm going to ask Councilman Fennell, do you mind?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
I usually don't get the long ones at all, so
Well, you can
bear
pass
with
it
me.
off if you'd like someone else to.
No. An ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning a .030 plus or minus acre parcel, tax map 113M Group J, parcel 016.00 from the CS Commercial Service District to the MRO Multi-Residential and Office District with the preliminary master plan for the Patel East Main rezone located north of East Main and west of North Westland Avenue. This is authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion to approve by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Juvance, opening the floor for discussion. I know that we did have some discussion, and with Vice Mayor Love's absence, I'll bring it up, just about the architecture and fitting the character of the district. I do feel like we have time before second reading. I've not seen any updates or had any conversation. I don't know if there's someone here that wishes to speak to that, but, you know, I do want to see something that is consistent with the character. Actually, when I drove through there and looked at the house that would be next to it, I think I called the person, I think it was Lee, and I called and I said, no, it wasn't him, I'm sorry. I know who it was, and said, you're actually pretty close. Just, you know, let's try and make it look like it has some historic character, because the roof pitch was similar and the brick was similar, so it wasn't as far off as I'd feared, especially from the property next door. I would like to see dimension to it, but I am not a property designer, so, but I'm okay with it. So anyway, those are my comments on that. Anyone else? Okay, it's first reading on ordinance 02401-1. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Golly, we got ways to go, too. Passes unanimously. Item 4 is a public hearing on ordinance 02401-1. Councilman Carter, you can read this one if you don't mind, sir.
No problem. This is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning a 0.3 plus or minus acre parcel, tax map 113M Group J, parcel 016.00 from the CS Commercial Services District to the MRO multiple residential and office district with a preliminary master development plan for the Patel East Main rezone located north of East Main Street and west of Northwestland Avenue, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Zone 2022-0079, and this public hearing is now open.
The public hearing on the previously considered item. If anyone would like to speak, you may come to the podium now and do so. Seeing no one, public hearing on ordinance 02401-1 is now closed. And item number 5 is first reading on ordinance 02401-2. Councilwoman George.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning a 1.63 plus or minus acre portion of a parcel, PO Tax Map 135, parcel 10107, from A Agricultural Residential District to the R20 Low Density Residential District, located at 1699 Woods Ferry Road, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve, second by Councilman Juvance. Opening the floor for any questions or discussion. Seeing none, this is first reading on ordinance 02401-2. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 6 is a public hearing on ordinance 02401-2. Councilwoman George.
Thanks again. This is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning 1.63 plus or minus acre portion of a parcel, PO Tax Map 135, parcel 101.07, from A Agricultural Residential District to the Low Density R20 District, located at 1699 Woods Ferry Road, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. This is a public hearing.
Know the routine by now. Public hearing on the previously considered item. If anyone would like to speak, you may come forward at this time and do so. I see no one wishing to speak, so I'll declare public hearing on ordinance 02401-2 closed. Item number 7 is first reading on ordinance 02401-3. Councilman Juvance is recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. It's an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning a 64.6 acre parcel from the PGC Planned General Commercial District to the MRO Multiple Residential and Office District, with a preliminary master development plan for the crossing at Indian Creek on 2 parcels, totaling 84.05 acres, located north of Highway 386 and east of Big Station Camp Boulevard, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And I move for discussion.
Motion for discussion. Opening the floor for discussion.
Second.
Those for discussion. You can make a motion to approve if you like.
Motion to approve.
Okay, you have a, I guess you need to motion, you need to second it for a discussion, and then you can make a motion to approve.
I did that.
Okay. Good enough. I have a motion for approval.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman George.
Actually, I think we need to open the floor before making a different motion, because the motion was seconded.
You made a motion to discuss. He seconded it, and then he
So
made a
We
motion.
opened the floor first.
So then he made a motion to approve, and then she seconded it. And so we're back to discussion. I mean, we can go backwards to discuss before the motion, but you think I'm okay, Ms. McCollum? Okay. So open for discussion at this point, with a motion and a second to approve.
Yes, ma'am. Again, we're Big Station Camp. We're cramming everything we can back there. That should be commercial and stay commercial because we need more commercial space. I read the plan. They're talking, again, plenty of open space But when I look at the plan, I would like to know where the open space is because I don't see anything in there. That's a lot of home we're gonna add on Big Station Camp. I don't know if you guys go there regularly, but I do, so I know there is already plenty of traffic. I know there's gonna be more units coming on. And I would like to see a traffic study before approving that change of zoning, and I think that's reasonable. Because, you know, it's, we're gonna put, it's what, a lot, 318 units there. And another issue I have is supplemental parking. Has been a big problem everywhere on the old developments, and we just have 29 supplemental parking for 318 units. So that's not, I don't think that's enough. That's gonna be problems. So I think we should solve problems before approving things and make sure the people who are gonna be living there are taken care of instead of just kicking the can down the road and just expect everything is gonna fix by itself. That's not gonna happen, so. I make a motion to postpone until we get the traffic study for that development.
Johns has made a motion. Motion dies for lack of a second. Back to the original motion. Is there further discussion, anyone?
Can we bring the developer up?
If, without objection from this body, we may.
Suspend the rule?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Rules second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Hello, my name is Greg Gamble, and I'm representing the applicant, Randy Hoffman, who's also here tonight.
Couple things. What Mr. Javon's brought up, I'm not entirely against that. I mean, I'm really like to see some type of traffic study, but my question to you, is there any other older traffic studies that we could piggyback off of?
Or the city of Gallatin did their own traffic study for this area. As a result of that, this property is subject to the TID, and they will be contributing to the funding and the build-out of Big Station Camp.
Yeah, remember that that's the pro rata corridor. That corridor was built for development, and everyone that builds on that corridor contributes based on the traffic that they generate by our determination or our experts'
That was made
determination.
actually quite a while ago, yeah. And I've always been led to believe that corridor right there was designated not only by us, but City of Hendersonville to make that into a high-density area. And
Well, so, you know, it's pretty much all our property at this point.
Yeah.
I understand that, but they
It's all-
also butt up next.
But yeah, I mean, it is being developed as it was intended when that road was built.
I will
I
add
can-
that in the staff report, it states, staff wrote that this is less intense than what was proposed for that traffic study.
I mean, I can remember way before I was mayor when they opened that road and going to the ribbon cutting and listening to the people talk about what the vision for that corridor is. And so it's kind of weird to be here and see it being built out like they envision with the planned pro rata investment to continue to evolve the corridor. And then our engineering department or the consultant they hire actually makes the determinations whether or not you're paying cash or you're doing improvements or some combination thereof.
And what about parking for this?
We do have overflow parking for our townhome area. All single-family homes will have a two-car garage with 2 cars in the driveway, extending the same development pattern that you're seeing at McCain Station now.
What about green space?
Yes, we have a stream corridor that we're preserving, and that just naturally ties into the area that the city has purchased for open space as well. But we do have buffers around the property where they are required, as well as an amenity area that's centrally located, right in between the townhomes and the single family.
Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Anyone else with any questions, any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Already had all that.
Sorry, got that.
We already had all that.
Yeah.
So we will go back.
We already had it.
Yeah,
thought we
because
done the
remember,
motion for-
no, he had motion to discuss,
Went
second,
backwards.
motion to
Yeah.
approve, second, and then we
Okay,
discussed.
sorry.
No, I I understand, it was confusing. So this is first reading on ordinance 02401-3. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Passes 5-1. We now move to a public hearing on the same issue. It's public hearing on ordinance 02401-3. Councilman Juvance to introduce, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Public hearing for an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, rezoning a 64.6 acre parcel from the planned general commercial district to the MRO, multiple residential and office district with a preliminary master development plan for the crossings at Eden Creek on 2 parcels totaling 84.05 acres located north of Highway 386 and east of Big Station Camp Boulevard, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And this is public hearing.
The public hearing, anyone that would like to speak to it may come forward at this time to do so. Seeing no one wishing to speak, I'll declare public hearing on ordinance 02401-3 closed. Moving on to item number 9, which is second reading on ordinance 02311-62. Councilman Hayes.
Yeah, this is an ordinance of the City of Gallatin, Tennessee, rezoning 6.17 acres from the MU Mixed-Use District to the PGC Planned General Commercial District, and amending the Hidden Creek Preliminary Master Development Plan located east of Big Station Camp Boulevard and south of Springdale Lane, authorizing the revision to be indicated on the official zoning atlas, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Hayes, second by Councilman Juvance. Is there any discussion? Mr. Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that's what we need. We shouldn't go that way instead of going the other way. We need more commercial, and that's actually a great idea. So hopefully we get more reasoning like that.
I think it's important to point out that commercial is generally generated by rooftops. Doesn't come in an island, but that's me opining. So this is second reading on ordinance 02311-62. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Unanimously passes. Item number 10 is first reading on ordinance 02401-4. Councilman Fan.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance appropriating funds for VCIF grant, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fan, second by Councilman Carter. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, this is first reading, ordinance 02401-4. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. It passes unanimously. Item 11 is resolution R2305-42. Councilman Fennell.
I think you said item 11, we're actually item 10. And did I say, am I wrong in what I just
You
said?
just did it. No, it's 11.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is a resolution adopting Sumner County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilwoman George. Is there any discussion? Mr. Juvance.
Again, thank you, Chief. All right. Thank you, Chief, for participating in that. I think it's a great document, but what I would like to see is some kind of implementation table and some dates, because there's a lot of things we need to do, we can do on that document, and that would be great we actually do it and not just putting it on the shelves and forget about it. So I'd like to see an implementation table and some dates. Page 77 of the document is what we need to do, so that's all.
Resolution R2305-42. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Y'all are getting quiet. Passes unanimously. Item 12, Resolution R2311-88. Councilwoman George.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution of the City of Gallatin, Sumner County, Tennessee, to adopt a Parks and Recreation Comprehensive Master Plan. Say again?
Motion
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Second.
by Councilwoman George, second by Councilman Juvance. Mr. Brown, are there any changes you'd like to see? I'm just kidding. This has been a long ride to get a vote on this. And here we are. So I would ask if there are any questions, conversations, concerns, Mr. Juvance.
Yeah, that's my southern accent, probably. I like the document. We finally got it done. Again, hopefully we start to spend money on our parks so we can get good things. But a lot of things in there shows routine maintenance. So I think we should allocate some money just to fix what needs to be fixed first and do anything else after. The only thing I don't like is the change we got done on page 12. I don't know if you guys got the red line or not, but I got it. So page 12 got changed. I like when the word were provides concrete goals and cost estimate example for capital improvements for the next several years, because that's clear and that's a mission, and that's mission we need to do. That doesn't force us to go and do everything with there, because we have to allocate the money and we can change what to do, but actually there is a mission where the change shows possible option for park and rec improvement that the City Council and Park and Recreation Department can consider for future planning and growth opportunities. So we're losing the mission of what that was made for. So I would like to make a motion to approve, but go back to the previous version of page 12.
By Councilman Juvance. Dies for lack of a second. Back to the original motion to adopt the plan.
Approve.
Any other comments, questions, discussion? Okay, this is Resolution R2311-88. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. It passes unanimously. Now that it is passed, I will say that I do hope that we remain diligent, and I'm going to be looking to Mr. Brown and hopefully some advisory committee in the future to help us keep that updated, because I think there are things in there that we will rethink, and I think there are things that aren't in there that we haven't even dreamed of yet that need to go in there. And so I think we all need to continue to work on that and keep it updated and keep it fresh and keep moving forward. So excited about the opportunities, especially being able to apply for grants again. So,
And I think Mr. Rose is going to be an exceptional asset to that advisory committee. So I'm looking forward to that.
thank you, shall be. And I will give him a time to speak to you all at the end of the meeting. I should
What
have
committee?
introduced him at the beginning.
Is that new?
Huh?
Advisory committee for the Park and Rec?
I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
I just heard there is an advisory committee for the Park and Rec.
Advisory committees when we get ready to start doing projects and to make sure.
You both have your microphones on?
I don't know what they're saying.
I was just responding to him and saying not an advisory committee for Parks and Rec overall, but to work towards completing the plan and doing projects within this plan.
Is that new? Because that's the first time I hear about it.
Okay. Something that I would like to see happen. Okay, anyone else? All right, moving along. Resolution, item 13 is Resolution R2311-90, Councilman Fennell.
This is a resolution authorizing the City of Gallatin to participate in a public entity partners property conservation matching grant program. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Carter. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, this is Resolution R2311-90. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes unanimously. Item 14 is Resolution R2311-98. Vice Mayor Love is not here. Councilman Carter, jump in.
Thank you, Mayor. This is
14.
this is a resolution amending the City of Gallatin Personnel Rules and Regulation Rules 17, Section 17 through 20, employee use of city-owned vehicles. And I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilwoman George. Are there any questions, any discussion? Councilman Juvance.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks, Susan, for sending the red line. There are a lot of red in there. And to put the amount of vehicle who are take-home vehicle. And, you know, I understand emergency vehicle, but when I see the code was 12 vehicle and 12 take-home vehicle, why does code need take-home vehicle? So hopefully that's going to fix that. There is only one thing I would like to look into. It's on the front. It's about unmarked vehicles. I would like to change the wording, something like, except for vehicle used by the police or fire department at the discretion of the police or fire chief, because I think unmarked vehicle, fire can have unmarked vehicle. It's common in fire department to have an unmarked one. Fire investigation have unmarked vehicle, and I think that should be at the discretion of the people who use of emergency, I mean the chiefs. So, Suzanne, I don't know if we could look at that quick.
I think he's saying that instead of being under the mayor's purview, it should be under those specific chiefs in those departments. I think we need to be consistent.
I would agree. I'm not certain if you're asking to amend this. I'm not certain what you're asking me.
I think Ms. Nichols has some input she wants to offer.
That's out of the IRS regulations regarding unmarked vehicles. It has to be someone in law enforcement that has the authority to carry a weapon. It specifically states that. It does not include fire.
Discussed with the fire department, it doesn't necessarily have to have big badges on the side, but it does need to be identified as a city vehicle for safety of citizens and the employees. Else on this, y'all? Okay, this is Resolution R2311-98. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Passes unanimously. Item 15 is Resolution R2401-1. Councilman Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution approving an indemnity and hold harmless agreement with a certificate of liability insurance to use the city-maintained sidewalk within the state right-of-way for the installation and maintenance of a projecting sign for 117 West Smith Street. And I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilman Fan. Any questions? All right, Resolution R2401-1. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. It unanimously passes. Item 16 is Resolution R2401-4. Councilman Fan.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution reappointing Jordan Wallace to Gallatin Construction Board of Adjustments and Appeals, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fan, second by Councilwoman George. Any questions, any discussion? Mr. Javance.
I'm going to make the same comment for the four coming last time that came in from the council, I made the comment that I cannot vote for people I don't know. I didn't have any resume. I didn't have any bio. So basically, we are 1 month and something later. I still don't have a resume. I still don't have a bio. So I don't understand how you can ask people to vote on people when maybe you know them. I don't. That blows my mind somewhere. Continue.
I'd like to say he's qualified, Mayor. He was raised in the construction business, and I think he knows what he's doing.
They build in my neighborhood. I'll back up what Mr. Fan says.
And, you know, in this instance, it's somebody that's been serving on that board, so they're experienced in that capacity. And the next one is our former fire marshal, so. I mean,
Well, I mean, we have been here a while, and most of us know all these people. I understand what Mr. Pascal is saying, but maybe he should try to get a hold of those people. I don't know.
I can always help with that. Okay. Any other questions? This is Resolution R2401-4. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no.
Abstain.
Say abstain versus no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so item 17 is Resolution R2401-5. Councilman Fan.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a resolution appointing John Stan Gwatney to Gallatin Construction Board of Adjustments and Appeals, and I so move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fan, second by Councilwoman George. I'm sure the concern is the same, but I'll open the floor for discussion.
Same comment that before. I'm going to abstain.
Okay, so this is, anyone with any other comments or questions? This is Resolution R2401-5. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And one abstention noted. Item 18 is Resolution R2401-6. Councilman Carter.
This is a resolution to establish Administrative Assistant 5 in the Planning Department. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Carter, second by Councilman Juvance. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, this is Resolution R2401-6. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes unanimously. Item number 19 is Resolution R2401-7. Councilman Fennell.
This is a resolution appointing Jason Curtis to Gallatin Construction Board of Adjustments and Appeals. Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Fennell, second by Councilman Fan. Any questions, any discussion?
Same comment, and we abstain.
This is Resolution R2401-7. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. So 5-4, against, one abstention. Item number 20 is Resolution R2401-8. Councilwoman George.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution of the City of Gallatin, Tennessee, authorizing the City of Gallatin to initiate condemnation proceedings for the right-of-way of lots 4, 5, and 6, and to retain outside counsel for the litigation. I so move.
Motion by Councilwoman George, second by Councilman Hayes. Opening the floor for any questions, discussion.
Recuse myself.
Okay, noted.
I'm accusing too.
No questions or discussion. We will proceed to the vote. That only leaves me with 3 people to vote. How does that work, Ms. Hamakalli?
4.
Yes, I'm not counting well. I apologize. Okay,
I know,
sorry, y'all.
I'm-
This is Resolution
I wasn't there
R2.
anyway.
I'm sorry?
That's okay.
What'd you say?
Let's say I'm probably number 4, you know.
Resolution R2401-8. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Passes 4-0. That concludes the regular agenda and brings us to other business. And I do have several things this evening, but I want to start with what I should have started with at the beginning of the meeting, which is that I'm very excited to introduce to those who have not met him and to the public and to those watching at home, our new city planner. He's been on the job for a few days, had his first planning commission meeting last night. And this time I'd like to ask Mr. Brian Rose if he'd like to say anything, so you'll know who he is.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I am very excited to be here. I started this past Wednesday. That was my first day on the job, and had nothing but a warm welcome from all the staff, and still trying to get just situated a little bit. Takes a little bit of time when you start a new job like this. But please bear with me in the process as I learning everything and doing my best to do that. Just a little bit of background on me. I've been in planning ever since I got out of college. I did take a small break from that when I moved here to the area. I've been here about 5 years, and when I was looking, I just couldn't find the right fit of a job, and was patient and ended up coming across the posting here for the city of Gallatin, and just got really excited. And
We're waiting for us.
we were waiting for each other, right?
That's right.
But, I did planning in Arizona, where I got my degrees, Buckeye, Arizona, and then, of course, the recession hit, and so they told us to look for jobs. I went to New Hampshire after that, so clear across the country, worked there for about 6 years, and then down to Bristol, Tennessee, which, that was my last planning job. I was the director of community development and planning there. And again, just got some great experience there. For the past 5 years, I've been working outside of the planning field in a job with my brother-in-law, who lives in this area in Gallatin. He does pest control, and so it just happened to be a good enough fit to get me over to this area, which my family lives here, and my wife's family, and so we just wanted to be here, and that was the way in. And so, glad to be back in planning, though. That's really my love. And, I couldn't fathom doing the other job for the rest of my career. I really would much rather be here and helping out where I can to help the city grow. So please come to see me if you have any questions or concerns about anything, or call me on the phone, whatever. I'm available. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. I think you're going to be a tremendous addition to our city. You may know, you may not know, but one of the things that we've learned about each other is that he actually has experience working with the consultant that we have contracted with to redo our zoning code. And he had a very good experience with them, and they with him. So I think that sets out for a smooth sailing ahead for a very difficult undertaking. And so he was excited by that, which makes me excited. So looking forward to that. The only other thing I have this evening are a couple of street closures, and so I'd ask for your consideration of them. The first is for the Gallatin Shamrock Run, benefiting the Gallatin Chamber Foundation. This is on the 9th of March. It's from 6:45 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. Closes the Gallatin City Hall parking lot. It closes Main Street from Locust to Hartsville Pike, Locust from Main Street to Broadway, Franklin from Locust to Boyers, Main Street from Main to Craft Street, Craft Street from Craft to Hartsville Pike, and then Hartsville Pike from Craft to Locust. It's for the run that they do, and they close off. Because it's so early in the morning, I don't find that it's been very disruptive. 6:45 to 9:30 a.m. It's on a Saturday morning.
I'm always
Okay,
up.
6:45 to 9:30 p.m. I was like, what? Okay.
Wow. No. 6:45 a.m. Actually, you know what? They don't have either circled, and so I probably did.
Stephen and I could run in that probably, couldn't we?
We could make the 5K in 15 hours.
We'd be making good timing.
Whole council could make the 5K
Oh my
in 15
gosh, yeah.
hours. So, no, I'm sorry, it is less than 3 hours, 2 hours.
I have a
and 45
post
minutes.
there on Locust Street for the last 5 years. I've been in the same spot. I said, that's my spot. But I'm always passing them on. Go, good.
Go.
Any motion?
Yes, please. Motion by Councilman Hayes, second by Councilman Carter. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved, 2-6. And then the second request is for the Gallatin Christmas Parade, which happens on December 14th, Saturday, starting at 12 and ending at 2. Steam Plant Road really closes at about 10:30. I mean, we still let traffic through one direction.
Well, that's a long ways out.
I
And
know.
I said that last year too,
Well, hey, they're planning ahead.
I
You're not
guess.
kidding.
Better than last minute. So it's closes Steam Plant from Airport to Hartsville Pike from Craft Street to Main Street from Main Street to Broadway, and then from Broadway to Oscar Smith.
Goes into the high school.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
Oh,
what
that
was
little
called.
side road by the new car wash.
I didn't know that was what that was called.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Hayes.
Second.
Second by Councilman Carter. That time is from noon until 2 p.m., although I would say they start closing Steam Plant at 10:30. Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously approved on 2/6/2024. Okay, that's all the other business I have, and so I would extend and ask if any members of this body have any other business.
Good to see Mr. DeBoer back. I'm just surprised
Absolutely.
he didn't make it to the podium tonight.
Time's not over yet.
It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
You know, Mr. Javance?
Thank you, Mayor. You made a comment, Mayor, I think it was a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, about all the signs were popping up in the city, and maybe it's not in your district, but my district was the most construction every Friday night. We have hundreds of signs popping up from developers because they know that nobody is going to pick them up during the weekend, and generally they disappeared on Monday morning early. And I think we need to do something about that.
Planning that has historically popped in on weekends and picked up on occasion, but they don't have somebody working on the weekend typically. It's become quite the challenge. We have a furniture store in town that has about driven our police department and our planning department crazy because they will not do as we ask. And I think they've even been cited several times at this point and probably be in court. And we're going to have to get serious about it. We're going to have to get serious about signs. We're going to have to get serious about litter. And when I say litter, people are always like, why don't y'all do something about litter? I said, really, all you can do is pick it up because people don't typically throw trash out their window in front of a police officer. And so we're going to have to crack down on the tarping. I've talked to several members of the Resource Authority Board, again, asking what they can do to ensure that people come in with tarped loads. And we're going to start trying to do some things on that. I don't tarped loads. Yeah, I've asked if we can double fee people who don't have tarps. That's my next, I've asked it before, but don't think I've been told you haven't considered it yet. So I would ask that you do. And then, the sign stuff, I mean, I guess we're going to have to expend some effort to have somebody work on the weekend to pick up some of those signs to teach people that we're going to pick them up.
And it's political signs.
Well,
Oh, I know.
And it's political season. It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
be-
I was driving somewhere today and I see a political sign on a stop sign. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Mayor, as a new candidate, though, I feel like to give them a little bit of leeway because, the first time I run, I didn't know better. But my question to you is when a candidate picks up a petition, does the county give them any guidelines? I don't remember that as far as what we expect in the city.
That notebook now, I think it may tell you to contact the individual cities for their specific ordinances. But, we don't burn their signs. We pick them up. They can get them back. We're happy to answer questions for anybody. And a lot of time, and another thing is, it's not always candidates. A lot of times it's their volunteers. And so we don't have any ill feelings by towards somebody because their signs aren't in the right place. We're just not going to allow them. If we see them and have the opportunity to pick them up, we'll bring them back and they can come get them. Mr. DePriest.
So, yes, there, at one time we were keeping them.
Oh, we're not now?
No. If it's on the right of way, that's considered litter to me, and it was just junking up our place. When they would come to look for them, they would
Had a whole bin
pick one
full.
and throw them everywhere. It was just becoming a nightmare, so when they come to our place, they're going in the dumpster. Unless I'm told otherwise.
Thank you for correcting me. Apparently my information is old, so. Anyone else?
I have just another question on the water grant, because I was reading the paper and I saw that I had to acquire services for right-of-way acquisition, 400 plus. We know how long that takes, so my question was, the grant has a limit on time to do the work. If we don't do the work on time, what's?
Gonna do the work on time, right, Mr. Kellogg? The right of way, even though it's a lot of property, a lot of linear feet, we don't have to have a settlement from everybody to begin the work. They just have to be notified that it's happening, and we can begin, so. Susan and David are looking at each other. Am I saying something that's not accurate? Wouldn't be the first time tonight. So. I think at this point, we feel like we will be on track to complete in a timely manner. They're meeting regularly, meeting again this week, so rocking and rolling.
But if we are not, what's happening at the end?
What now?
If we are not, for any reason, can we have the option of extending the delay, get an extension on the finishing date, or we lose the money?
I think that is a decision far beyond the local level or even the state level. I think that would be a federal determination, because it's federal regulations. And I think we need to do it and have it spent. But I think there are a lot of entities and projects that are not going to have the money spent. The City of Gallatin will, but I don't know what they might do. When they realize that there's still a lot of money out there that isn't accounted for. City of Gallatin's accounted for theirs, so. Anything you want to say about it, Mr. Kellogg? He's like, oh, do I gotta?
We are meeting regularly every 2 weeks to discuss the project. We've got a timeline established for the different entities that are participants in it to get plans together with the goal of having things ready to bid late spring. That'll get us under construction sometime this summer. So we're tracking for the deadline and just trying to keep everything moving forward.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else from this body? All right, seeing none, we'll move along to public recognition on non-agenda related items. If you're in the public and you'd like to speak to something that's not on the agenda, this is your time. And you, again, will have 5 minutes. We just ask that you introduce yourself and give us your address for the record, please.
Good evening, folks. My name is Joe DeBoer, and I live at 1007 Hart Street. And I haven't said that to this podium too often in the last year and a half or thereabouts, because I've been busy taking care of a friend of mine. I'd like to, at this time, thank the police, the fire, the rescue squad, the ambulance authority, people in that group, for the service that they rendered to us during this time. They were outstanding. In fact, the day of the passing of my partner, It was a madhouse on 1007 Hart Street. But we do appreciate all the people that have come in a professional manner, and appreciate all the thoughts and prayers of the people of Gallatin. And next on the agenda is I wanted to bring to the group tonight the pleasing parking lot that we have here at our local city hall. It is nice to see it nice and paved and marked off properly. Also, you can also say that the area over there for the recycling area outstandingly looks. In fact, I was over there today, and all the fine folks over there putting their recyclable goods in the containers. The containers were painted nice. Couldn't look better in the world, except for one small thing, and that is the width between the containers that we put our stuff in is kind of tight for a walker. And we're going to have to watch that, because guess what? We can get sued because we're not taking care of people that are handicapped. So we got to watch that. So next thing on the agenda we'd like to bring up is I haven't seen the sign yet, Mayor. We need to see the sign on the front. Now, I would suggest to everybody involved with that procurement in the near future that we get two signs, one for here and one for the Civic Center. And for the record, I like to go on the record of saying I would like to have the old sign to be designated for Triple Creek Park, so that we can, we at the Sertoma Club would be happy to put up a sign out there using the old remnants for our tractor pull and for the Miracle Park, designating that area for that. The next thing we'd like to say is we're going to look forward to the September, the third week in September for the tractor pull for this coming year. That's going to be for the use of our community in order to be able to have ability for our young people to have a Christmas. We serve people over in the Howard Community School District, and we had about 25 people that we served in that and their families. Also, we also with the Sertoma Club, we also do some hearing work. If anybody needs to have any hearing work done, we'd be happy to help them with that too. And that is also something that we do in our community. Just wanted to share that with the folks here. Sometimes we don't get it out there like it should be, and it should be out there for everybody to know what's going on. We're one of the three groups with fire department, with the police department, Rotary Club, and the Sertoma Club are three groups that all three serve our community during that time for kids having their Christmas. And we want to make sure all three groups get to be notoriously noted on that issue. So finally, Mayor, we thank you for your time. I didn't get too late. It's after 7 o'clock and it's time to go home.
Oh, Mayor, I have something.
Sure good to see you, sir.
Yes, it is.
Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment?
My name is Renee Saunders. It's R-E-N-E, Saunders, 2092 Robin Boulevard. And I'm just saying that because I noticed on the previous minutes that it's misspelled, so it's whatever. I answer to a lot of different things, though. I wanted to say thank you, first of all. Thank you, Mayor, for your newsletter. I can tell that you guys have my email address because I got your newsletter today at 2:44. It is very nice formatted. It looks very good, and thank you for letting the city know all the things that are going on and coming up. I wanted to just make a couple of style requests. I think this is called style requests. To avoid using paper, I use my telephone to look at the agenda and follow the agenda along during the meeting. The problem with tonight's agenda was that it was 410 pages long on the website. This is 2024. We should be able to have a one-page agenda with links that work so that you can click the link and what will pop up is what you need to see.
Version will be bookmarked.
That's beautiful. So if we could do that, then I can feel good about my environmental non-use of paper products. The other thing I wanted to know is I am frequently confused by some of the ordinances that you all read and relative to the parts of town that you're referencing. So I live in one part of town. Of course, I drive through. Not everything relates to me, and I understand that completely. But since I do take the time to come to the meeting, I would love to, maybe if we could project a map. If it's a lot of trouble, I certainly understand. But if I don't ever ask, then it'll never happen. So maybe a map with each ordinance that you all are talking about. You can just throw it up on the viewing. I mean, you have these beautiful televisions here. We might as well use them for as many things as we can. And I can imagine if I was sitting at home trying to follow this meeting, it would be super difficult to do it. So those are just a couple of the comments that I wanted to make and just request if they're, if things are done this way because the state says you have to do them this way, I completely understand. And it's not too much trouble for me to keep doing like this until I can get to the, it is a little confusing, but I'll do this if I have to.
It's awful.
Just,
Awful.
just the thought that if it's possible that we could do those things just to make it a little easier. And and the last thing I wanted to say was that Parks and Recreation's report is super, super interesting. It's getting ready to come golf season again, and so I'm just going to throw a selfless plug in for the Long Hollow Golf Course Clubhouse, women's restroom facilities. The toilets sit super low, and they teetle-toddle. And so I realize that everything's not ADA, but I think there are 4 stalls there, and it would be absolutely wonderful if I didn't have to bend my knees too far to get down there when I play golf. And so that's again, just a selfless plug. Other than that, I love playing at Long Hollow. You all know I love playing at Long Hollow, and thank you so much for listening. Have a good evening. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Ms. Saunders. All right, anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Okay, seeing no one, public recognition on non-agenda related items is closed, and Councilman Carter has indicated that he forgot something very important.
I'm sorry, it'll be quick. I just want to invite you guys to join me wherever you're going to be at on Sunday evening and cheering on my cousin, Jordan Mason, and the San Francisco 49ers to victory in the Super Bowl. He is born and raised in Gallatin. So bang, bang, Niners game.
Are you going to be watching it on TV or in person?
Well, if the city is sponsoring, I can still go in person. If not, I'll be watching it on TV.
Yeah, we don't want you in trouble. No, certainly that is exciting to have a young man from our city playing in the Super Bowl, and we wish him all the luck and hope that everyone stays safe, and maybe we can bring home a Super Bowl ring. So, thank you. That was great to bring up. Anyone else?
You know who the other one was playing Super Bowl?
Who?
Just a little trivia.
Who? That was going to be my guess. Detroit Lions. Who was he with then?
Colts.
Colts, okay.
He played with Pittsburgh at one time, too.
Okay. So, second Gallatin person we know to play in the Super Bowl. So, anyway, with that, y'all, I would entertain motion to adjourn by Councilwoman George, second by Councilman Carter. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ladies and gentlemen, we're adjourned. I wish you all a very good evening, a safe week. May we continue to have the beautiful weather that we're having in February. Good night, everyone. Be kind to one another.